I don't know. I think a lot of us, and I'm gonna say us, because I'm guilty of this too. We focus on the wrong thing. Like men, we guilty of this. Like, okay, I'm in the club. I see the girl. She's considered, what they call a thought. She got the body and all that. But what does she really have to offer other than her looks? You might have this girl who's sitting over here who she might not be as attractive, but she has herself together. She has a great personality, has a good career, and is a great person. But you getting stuck on the physical, and that's what the guy will go after, because that's what guys are. We visual creatures. And the same thing.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to Unadulterated You. I'm Bianca and this is Teddy, and we're so happy to be with you guys again. So
What's going on, people?
we're gonna just jump right into the topic. I had a question I asked Teddy because this is a problem that I find consistent, with my friends or family members and even myself. Just wonder why have the roles seemingly shifted with men and women? And why do men want women to chase them or even cater to them, where it used to be that the man would do all the things that they're expecting from the women these days?
I mean, that's a very loaded question right there, man, because I can ramble all night about that one.
I mean,
But
do you think it's valid, or is this just my own perspective?
well, on a spiritual term, I think like the atmosphere is definitely changing, because I mean, it's just a different type of feel, because everything is shifting, especially with this COVID thing and what's going on with 2020, because we know this is the year of vision and everything being exposed and stuff. Even though I'm pretty sure you would say that it's been happening before 2020, but
That's exactly
like,
what I'm gonna say.
yeah, I mean, but this whole year has been weird. So
It's just been made, it's just very apparent that guys, they're kind of expecting more and more. And I've had like conversation with my mom, and sometimes she's like, "Oh, there's so and so," or just kind of assuming that the guy would do certain things. And I'm like, "Mom, that's not. People don't do that anymore." And she's like so surprised, because she's been married for well over 30 years, and so she's like, just from when she was dating, it's totally different.
I mean, it's touchy, because it's like we going through this whole thing with the Me Too movement with the women, and women trying to be kind of sort of equal to men. They want equal judgment as far as the work field and stuff like that. But it's kind of touchy, because I'm sorry to say this, especially in the African American community, it seems like a lot of black women are doing their thing, a lot better than, the average black men, especially in certain communities. And it's tough, because here you are, a woman who is expecting a certain type of thing, because you killing the game. You got a career, you got a business, you got all this. You might even be the boss of your business, but then it's like you don't know how to turn that off,
Well,
because
is it like, are you saying you don't know how to turn off that persona that you give? Is that why you're saying that men are kind of, they shy away from that? Because I don't think that's the case. I just think that they've not been taught, and I think
okay.
that and then again, maybe they have been taught, but then there is a set of women who've allowed a certain behavior. This is not a money thing. It's about treatment, how you treat the woman. There's nothing about, any income level anything like that. It's just simple, um, I guess simple gestures that you can make. Like, is chivalry dead, or what's going on here? I'm kind of lost about the set of men that are present.
Well, I'll give you a scenario, and this happened way back. So this lets you know this is not a new situation. I remember back when I was in New York, and this got to be, shoot, man, probably about almost 10 years ago. I was dating a female at the time. I was a bus driver in New York. I was making pretty good money. I guess you would say I was doing my thing. But I was dating a particular female who was making 100,000 plus a year. She was a nurse in New York City. So money wise, she was definitely way beyond me. But it's like we was dating and we was cool, but it seemed like every time we had an issue, she would be quick to throw in my face that her money was higher than mine, almost like trying to belittle me. And that's why me and her ain't work, because I cut that off real quick. I'm like, listen, well, if you're going to look at it like that, I can't deal with you. You know, you making more money than me doesn't make me less of a man. I mean, I have a good job. It's just you have a better job. And a
Mm-hmm.
lot of women that I've seen who are successful, you know, a lot of times they let that go to their head. It's like, you know, you making the money and you're kind of the provider in your life because maybe you might have kids or whatever, and the baby father ain't do right by you. And because he's lacking, you automatically thinking that's how all of us are. So it's, you already treating us at a lower end from the start because of how your past experiences with other guys.
Well, that's one type of woman, but what about the women who have been somewhat, I guess, in the name of not being alone, forced to succumb to, I guess bring the standards down and, just begin to take care of the man. I wonder, does the man not have the same opportunity as the woman to be successful? They actually do. So then it's really not any excuse in that matter. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Most women that I'm aware of that actually make over $100,000. I don't see them throwing that in people's faces. Just that like that woman does exist, but
Mhm.
everybody doesn't do that. You know what I'm saying? So it's not even about that. It's about just simple respect. Or this guy who really doesn't really necessarily meet the standards that the woman has, still feeling like he can go around and do whatever and still get this type of woman. And unfortunately, likely he does still get that type of woman because the pickings are really slim, or the lady doesn't want to be alone, or
Mhm.
just so many different factors that cause the lady to just go ahead and settle for something that she deserves more than. That's my perspective.
I mean, me personally, and I know I'm probably gonna piss somebody else with this, but me personally, I think women in general standards are low because I see women all the time who deserve better and they always choose a guy who's way beneath them. So maybe you're not talking to somebody who's in your league. You're talking below your league because again, you just said like the pickings is small, and to
It's
me that's a mindset because you already telling in your head like, oh, I don't have much to choose from, so I have to already choose something below because there's not much out there.
Yeah, so that's not necessarily my mindset, but just
Yeah,
about a lady who works, maybe 12 hours a day. She doesn't have time to mingle and go around and find someone and stuff like that. So, in many cases, they only have a certain amount of options, and that's just
yeah,
it. So it's not necessarily my mindset, but the fact is that we're not always in a setting where you have opportunity for, I guess, to meet those people who are better qualified for whatever reasons. You have obligations and responsibilities to fulfill where you may not even be able to date.
that's true. Well, I feel like it's just like everything. Everything is a law when you talk about God. Like they say, life and death is in the power of the tongue. So if you're a young lady and you're always walking around saying that there's no good men out there, then guess what? The trash man is gonna keep coming to you because you keep speaking that into your life.
That's really true. But I guess you just didn't really answer the question. The initial question was like, why do you not know or have any friends or acquaintances that you've seen them kind of make the woman chase them?
Me personally,
Well, it
no, I
couldn't be. Maybe he's not a cheater or any of that. Maybe he just like wanted her to do for him.
See, I can't speak for that
I
because
know that
from
man.
no, I don't know that guy because from my experience, the guys that I know that's doing their thing and handling their business, those are the ones who have a hard time finding women. It's always the trash dudes that want to spit that game and always want to play a chick and not even do what they supposed to do. They always the one with the phone book full of women. But the guys that is trying to do the right thing and got the good heart, they always get played. I just posted a meme about that on my page. It's like the female, especially the younger generation, they always consider, oh, he's a lame, or he's boring, or he's this. And that's my experience. You know, I can't speak for every situation.
So I guess the deeper question is that why would women with higher standards or better qualified, why do they attract, the less qualified people? And then the men, on the other hand, attract the same type of people. Why are they not attracting each other?
I don't know. I think a lot of us, and I'm gonna say us, because I'm guilty of this too. We focus on the wrong thing. Like men, we guilty of this. Like, okay, I'm in the club. I see the girl. She's considered, what they call a thought. She got the body and all that. But what does she really have to offer other than her looks? You might have this girl who's sitting over here who she might not be as attractive, but she has herself together. She have a great personality, who has a good career and is a great person. But you getting stuck on the physical, and that's what the guy will go after because that's what guys are. We visual creatures. And the same thing with women, even though they might not be so big on the physical, but they looking at the how you would say the security, or the, like, a man is supposed to be like the head of the household, or he supposed to provide. So they always supposed to go after guys who, quote unquote, got the bag, or he's getting money.
He looks like he is, or he's got a nicer car, and he seems to be doing well, but under all of that, he may very well not be, and a lot of times he's not. So
Exactly.
anytime you see this flashy thing, what is it? Everything that glitters is not gold, and that's for both ends, women and men. So I think that, first of all, I think the point that you made was to change your thinking, or how you're speaking towards a situation, as far as how you think of, if you're a woman, how you think about men, or, oh, there are not enough good men out there. You shouldn't necessarily be thinking that way. You should change your mindset. And another point you were saying about is just being more attracted to the physical than what's really there. And so just to be able to mature from that mindset of only being interested in what you see, because what about the other things? Are there other factors there that, I guess, that would make the person a viable option? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just
Yeah.
not. So those are, I think, 2 points. But I guess we're gonna have to get an answer from the people who are watching, as far as why. Which my question was, is why do the men these days expect women to chase them or kind of cater to them?
Exactly. I mean, every perspective is going to be different.
We're gonna have to see what they have to say, because it's just a question, and I know that somebody out here can relate to that, because we are younger, so even though you don't know that guy, the guy definitely exists.
Exactly. Now, I could say this, maybe this could help. I don't know, but I know from my experience, like sometimes, because I think another mistake that a lot of women make is that, some of us guys, we act like we tough, we holding it down and stuff. But a lot of women forget that men have feelings, and we are emotional. We just don't wear our emotions on our sleeve. So um, I I know one thing that I notice about dealing with some females is that they forget that we want to feel love and affection too. So it's like, okay, if I'm hitting you up all the time and I feel like I'm not getting hit up sometime, or you're not going out of your way to talk to me. I know from my personal experience, there was times that I fell back because I'm like, yo, I'm calling this person and I'm texting this person, and it seemed like I'm always reaching out to them, but they're barely reaching out to me, or they only hitting me back up when it's convenient. So I'll fall back a little bit. So sometimes you got to look into that situation.
We feel like it just goes both ways.
It's,
As far as pursuing someone or letting somebody know that you're interested, it shouldn't be a one-sided thing where I'm the only person doing all the work to keep this so-called relationship afloat. And I understand that part, but I do think that the man should evidently pursue the woman. You know what I'm saying? I mean, maybe that's a
yeah.
way of thinking. I don't know, but I really do think so.
Yeah, absolutely in the beginning, but I do still feel like it should be somewhat of a two-way street because I mean, how is a guy supposed to know you're interested if you're not showing no interest back? Like if I text you on a Monday and I don't hear back from you from Thursday, that doesn't show you that you're interested.
But men do that to women.
It goes both ways.
Which
It's
is
not.
hilarious, right?
It's
Yeah,
not. It's
so how
not.
is the
It
other
goes.
party supposed to know that you're interested? Or are you interested? It's not even how are they supposed to know. Maybe you're actually not interested because, the phones are glued to our hands these days. It's kind of like no excuse.
And another thing that happens with men and women is maybe you are a career person where what you got going on is taking all your time. It's not that you're not interested, you're just busy. But it still comes off to a different person. Like if I call you and you answer the phone, but you're real short on the conversation because you're handling business, but you don't really know that. You're like, oh man, every time I call this person, they get off the phone real quick, or they take a day, 2, 3 days, get it back to me. I mean, you can't expect this person to keep calling you all the time. Like communication, that's what it all takes. Communication is key.
So is it like what you said that you just fell back because
Yeah,
I think I would encourage that actually if the person is not showing that they're interested, like don't waste your time for sure. Even if they are interested and they come around, that's a whole nother situation for another day. Right now it's like you have to go with what you see. And if the person
basically.
isn't showing they're interested, then why would you even begin a chase?
And I mean, especially now, I can't speak for men, but especially for women, I've noticed a lot that a lot of women will get into the dating game and they're not really emotionally available. You may be physically available, but you're not emotionally available. So technically, okay, you gave me your number, you still trying to holler, but you still tripping over homeboy you just got away from. So it's like they in, but they out at the same time. So that might be a case too. It's
Yeah.
so many factors.
Yeah, not really a good space to be in. But I think at the end of the day, if you figure out that the person is not expressing interest, don't waste your time at this point.
Basically, life is billions of people on this earth. Like,
Yeah, like
bye.
he said, "What? Do that again."
Bye.
That's how you
Ain't
do
that
it.
serious?
Hold on, is that how you do them?
Yo, you know me. I'm the king of the block button. Ain't no problem.
And you look so serious about it.
Bye. It's just like New York City. Another bus come every 5 minutes.
Okay. You
It
mean
ain't nothing personal.
no? It's definitely
That's
personal.
it's nothing personal.
I have to leave you alone. It's like it's no like the time thing you can't get back. So I mean, there's nothing to be said towards that. We can't get our time back. Use it wisely. Period. Point blank.
Exactly.
All
That's
right.
just part of the game.
So yeah, that was. I think that was definitely a needed topic because I hear a lot of people talking about it. I see this going on without being said as well. So definitely needed. Hope you guys have maybe some input to add down in the comments or just email us at unadulteratedU@gmail.com. And just let us know what you thought about this topic, or if you have another topic, we would love to hear from you on that. Anything else you want to say?
I mean, as far as the dating game in general, we just gotta learn how to have fun again. Like back in the day, you used to be able to just go on a date and that's it. Like, but people wear they emotions on their sleeve. Like, I'm gonna go on a date with you one day, and now you want to be my girlfriend just like that. Like, you don't know nothing about me. Like, enjoy each other, get to know each other. Like, take your time.
Yeah,
This ain't a race.
one thing we know by now is that it takes time to get to know people. Like it takes time. And I thank you for saying it's not a race because you know that's how it feels a lot of times, like pressure to be in a
Mm-hmm.
relationship. I don't know. Sometimes it's family that pressures people to be in a relationship or oh when you gonna settle down and all this stuff. Listen, I'd rather you have one relation or get into a relationship after having several to be married, you know, successfully, than to have several marriages that are end up being unsuccessful in the name of oh we're rushing to get into something or we're rushing period.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
So
we appreciate you watching the video to this long. That means you watched it to the end,
mhm.
and we'll catch you next time.